everybody? Welcome to the Lock It In Podcast, episode 7. I got my guys Zion, CJ, Jane, and Nas. This is the first edition on Hardcore Sports Network. I just joined. I'm glad to be here. What's going on?
Let's get it, gang. On a Friday night, I got the boys with me. We're brought to you by Hardcore Sports. Please go check out their channel. This is being broadcast on everybody's channel, including the Hardcore Sports Network. We see y'all in the chat. We love you guys' support. What's up, Coach Doctor's in the house. Jeffrey's in the house. Namir's in the house. Big Play Slade is in the house. We got Normal Guy, Love Vance. Everyone's in. The Big Fridge, Mitch, Super Taj, Randall. Thank you guys all for being here, supporting us. We got Prestige, Olivia. Let's get the chat going. Another episode of Lock It In. Let's get it. We got CJ with a box on his head.
Because he's a Nets fan.
Hold up. One of your damn teams just made it in the finals, didn't win it, but they appeared in the finals. And then your other team is just the bottom of the little dog shit. Sorry about that. No, you guys are Knicks fans. That being said, you got Boston. Why is there a box on your head, CJ? Long time.
Betraying a Nets fan. He's betraying a Nets fan.
CJ is in a box.
I was told from so many Nets fans.
You take that box off your head.
Where's the box?
Get out the box. Get out.
Out of the box, CJ.
Oh my God.
Jesus, I gotta turn my volume down every time.
It's Mike. Oh my
God. Wait, hold on. I want to say something real quick. Shout out to Hardcore Sports. We appreciate everybody for tuning in, coming in to support. You know, we gonna do more episodes. I can't wait for more people to join in. You know, slow by slow. You know, we gonna take our time. We not gonna rush. We gonna try to bring everybody in. You know, we staying positive. You know, we're trying to change the culture over here.
Stay 11.
Let's get it. All right,
but CJ, you can finish what you were saying.
First topic: Kevin Durant demands a trade out of Brooklyn, and I'm assuming that's what CJ was going to get to.
CJ, you up first.
You know, I was told by many astute Nets fans, as well as Zion himself.
That's a good one, Big Play.
Wait, hold on. Yo. Wait, hold on, CJ, I gotta cut you off. He said he's talking through a World War II. Wow.
All right, continue.
I was told from many astute Nets fans, including Zion alike, that Kevin Durant and Kyrie are gonna take over the East, man. Kyrie is the best teammate.
This mic is so loud.
Hey, yo, CJ, I love you, but get a new effing mic, bro.
Oh my.
But continue. I love you, CJ.
Just cool it.
It sounded like a rat just came through, bro.
CJ, don't mute your mic because of that. Continue, CJ. You was walking out on a good point. Let's get it.
No, on some real stuff. Let's stay professional for the show. You know, we're trying to prove to the people we can be professional.
I'm joking. Mike?
All right, CJ, continue.
Continue, CJ. Absolutely, Jeff. Let's get it.
Yep.
Appreciate that, Jeff.
All right, CJ, continue.
I was told from many astute, both Nets fans and media pundits alike.
Hold up, CJ. Sorry to interrupt, but you gotta wake up, man. Wake up from your dream, bro.
All right, we got 15 in the chat.
Love you, man. Thanks for being here, though.
Oh yeah! Shout out to the 15 people. Let's get it.
All right, CJ, continue. We will not interrupt CJ at all. All right.
Yeah, we're not interrupt them. But yeah, what Jeff said also. I'm just joking. No hatred towards the Knicks. None at all. I'm gonna meet myself.
CJ,
go.
Okay. For the umpteenth time. You know, I don't mean to come on to brag. I don't mean to sound like a pretentious prick. I don't mean. All I try to do is speak the God honest truth about what I see as far as the direction of an NBA team and an NBA fan base. And I said it then, and I wholeheartedly believe it now. 2.5 years ago, when the Brooklyn, before Kevin Durant even had the opportunity to suit up a game for the Brooklyn Nets, the minute that they fired Kenny Atkinson because Kenny Atkinson did not want to start DeAndre Jordan, who was a fossil at this stage of his career, over Jared Allen. I said it then, and I'll say it again. If the Brooklyn Nets do not win a title during this KD and Kyrie tender, they're not going to blame Kevin Durant, because we know he's one of the 5 best players in basketball. They're not going to blame whoever the head coach is, because whoever they hire is going to be a glorified Kevin Durant and Kyrie puppet, which is exactly what Steve Nash is. If they don't win a title, they're not even going to blame the front office, because it was Kenny Atkinson and Sean Marks that established the entirety of the Nets culture. Everything that made them a fascinating destination, well above anything the Knicks could offer in terms of being a destination. Everything that made the Brooklyn Nets special was built on Kenny Atkinson and Sean Marks. And the fact that they threw all of that away to appease Kyrie's ego. Been there and done that. Saw it firsthand with the Celtics. When Kyrie got moved up, when Kyrie originally got traded to the Boston Celtics, I was ecstatic. I was beyond the moon thrilled. I'm like, we just got a borderline superstar player to pair with our 2 young wings in Tatum and Brown with veterans like Smart, Horford, and Morris. This is going to be a match made in heaven, and especially considering we got a top 3 coach in Brad Stevens. And in the back of my mind, I should have saw this coming a mile away. Kyrie Irving at the end of the day thinks the NBA is just glorified AAU basketball. And it's not that. Period. Far from it. And I get so sick and tired of hearing from all media pundits alike wanting to blame the reason
What up, Brandon?
The reason why Kevin Durant never won in
Florida, thank you for being here.
Because he was paired with Russell Westbrook. And I've been calling bullshit on that for years. Yes, is Westbrook a tough guy to adjust to? Absolutely. Am I saying it should be easy to play alongside Westbrook? Of course not. But the same reason why the Nets didn't win, and the same reason why the Thunder didn't win when they had KD and Westbrook together, is because they were a glorified AAU-style basketball team. No structure, no continuity, no flow, none of that. And the Brooklyn Nets had that, and then some, when again, Kenny Atkinson was the head coach. So I say all that to say this. The real reason why this operation had blown up the way he did, the reason why I believe Kevin Durant is now leaving Brooklyn, is because he sees the writing on the wall. There's no way in hell that Kevin Durant is winning a title with Kyrie as his second option. Period. And yeah, they can be boys. They can be best friends. We know how bad Kyrie is on the court. But he's unreliable. And minus an explosion here, an explosion there, with the exception of Ben Simmons, Kyrie is the most unreliable star in all of basketball. Maybe in the last 20 years.
A bit extreme, but continue.
And so, again, I was told from many folks alike, oh, but CJ, Kyrie's got a bag, man. KD and Kyrie are the best, still doing the basketball, man. What?
good, bro? You good, bro?
Correct me if I'm wrong. Just to make sure I'm not losing my mind. Did Kevin Durant play with, I don't know, another superstar, top 5 point guard all
Hey
time?
man, Steph Curry is not even that good, bro. We're just gonna know that.
Did I miss it? Did I miss that? Didn't Kevin Durant join a 73-win team?
Klay Thompson. Who is even Klay Thompson?
I mean, listen,
You're
man.
muted,
Again, maybe.
Can I interfere? What was the question?
Maybe. Oh no, we are still.
Yo, Logan, what was the question?
KD demanded to get out of Brooklyn, and honestly, even though it would be so easy for me to rip Kevin Durant a new one, or at least not give it a shot, in the back of my mind, I'm like, can I really blame him? This is not what Kevin Durant ultimately asked for. He didn't think Kyrie would quote-unquote pull a Kyrie and be unreliable again. He did not think.
But here's the thing, though, CJ. I love your points, and I wanna say this. Whatever happens to KD and Irie, you know, it's sad. It's sad for Nets fans. I think of people like Jeff and Adam. You know, Jeff that's been rooting for the team for a long time. Yes, same Jeff that's in the comments tonight. So make sure you guys go sub up to his channel. That being said, like, I think about the fans and they never really had a truly. We talk about it all the time on Premium Takes and Lock It In and on the phone. And it's every time they get something special, it's torn about. It's broken down. When they get a big three, it's torn about. It's broken down. And I love your point you made about Kyrie, but also I don't in a sense of he is reliable to a certain point. And I look at someone, I get it, he's injured, but when is the last time that Ben Simmons took the floor? You can't just direct all the energy at Kyrie. I understand where you're coming from it, because Kyrie's out there being a free agent and he's on. You want to interfere? Go ahead.
I'm sorry to cut you off, man.
I cut you off all the time.
Ben Simmons is about as relevant as my work boots at this point.
Exactly. So to my point, a lot of your energy was directed towards Kyrie Irving, but last time I checked, Kyrie Irving is, and I don't care what people say, you count 10 point guards, the NBA, the younger generation of point guards, like, you know, your John Morant's of the world, been absolutely phenomenal. Your Darian Foxes of the world. But that being said, point guards are not a position where there is really 10 in the league at one time that's dominant. You know, that being said, like, you look at point guards around the league, you know, I still put Kyrie Irving in the top 10. So that being said, you can't disrespect Kyrie Irving, like the same debate. Not really debate, the same debate I had with Adam on Premium Takes. You know, when he basically shitted on Stephen Curry. I said, hold up now. I believe Stephen Curry can play in any generation. If Allen Iverson can play back then, Stephen Curry can play back then. And I get it. Back then, Allen Iverson is more of an early 2000s, 90s, but I get it. Even in the 80s, Steph Curry could play. You know, but that being said,
wow,
kind of gotta fall back.
Don't say that again.
A lot of your attention was directed towards like a lot of hatred, like against Kyrie. Let me backstep. Like, when's the last time that KD won a championship without nobody's help? How come KD can't go? How come KD can't go and take a team to the damn championship? How does Jimmy Butler got to renovate himself, come to Miami, go some Super Saiyan mode, and can take a young Miami? I get it. They have older players and veterans, and we got Haslam, player, coach, still on the damn team, and we got Kyle Lowry, 35. But how can a Jimmy Butler go and march Miami in the first place, and then march his team down only to a second decision? I don't blame him for taking that free. I don't blame him. But how can he go and fire up his squad? How can a young Tatum and a young Brown go and fire up the Celtics and go to the finals? That being said, KD, no matter what happens, he needs to prove it just as much as Kyrie does. There's no separation there. And KD, if you was, I get it. I'm not trying to get into his personal shit, but
We gotta
If
move
he
on
was
to the
your
next topic.
homie, wouldn't you care? Wouldn't you feel some type of way if out there making the statement like he did is his life, is his? I was watching the show. They said it perfectly. They're like, "Boy, it's not like Kyrie Evans is his first contract.
We
Negotiate him to stay." You know what I'm saying? Like,
We,
build something. Build something. Build
we gotta-
something.
we gotta move on to the next topic. We've been on this for almost 20 minutes now.
Yeah. What's the
I mean,
next?
wait, Logan. Nobody else gave their opinion. No. Nobody else said nothing.
It was 20 minutes. With that being said,
It was fun.
Hey, let Jayden make his point. Shut up, Logan.
Right.
Go ahead, John.
Yeah, but I'm gonna just keep it short. With Kevin Durant demanded trade,
It's not my fault. CJ takes up 10 fucking minutes.
yo,
I'm
somebody
sorry.
get that. Somebody get that.
I was pretty long myself. Sorry for swearing.
but I think about KD demanding trade.
Somebody get the chat.
Between Phoenix and
But I'm
Miami.
on my iPad. You get the chat, Logan.
I got it. An
Yeah.
error occurred.
Yeah, Logan. But I don't know. I think his best bet if you go to probably Miami, because with the team looks, him and Jimmy Butler, they could be good chemistry. With Phoenix, with him, with Devin Booker, DeAndre Ayton. It's gonna be scary, man. But look, if KD joins any other team,
Well, fast
However,
chat, can I respond to that? No, I
Yeah.
absolutely agree. That's why I said build it. Build something. Convince Kyrie Irving to stay in Brooklyn. KD, Kyrie Irving, get someone, whether it be Ben Simmons, if he wants to ever play the game of basketball, or if he wants to just go take one of his Ferraris for a cruise. I'm sorry, hardcore sports. To the point is build something. Fans like Jeff deserve it. If Kyrie can't do it by himself, he needed LeBron. Obviously, KD was one of the best franchises we've seen in the Golden State at that time, 79 and something. I don't know, But that
it
being
was
said,
73-9.
73 and 9. Thank you, champ. That being said, go build it together. Build something for the fans like Jeff. That's what I'm saying, Dante.
Exactly. With
Sorry,
that being
champ.
said, Jane, you want to continue?
No, I'm cool. Look, if KD joins the Lakers, I swear to God, I would hate that move. I'm gonna be the first one to say it.
Yeah.
But we got to move on to other topics, though.
Let's get it. Next, give Jalen Brunson a 4-year, $104 million contract.
I'll let the Knicks fans answer that first.
I'll answer it real fast because I'm not a Knicks fan. All I have to say is I was following this for a bit, and it was after Jalen Brunson on some stuff. Like, I don't know what they really wanted him, and if they feel that he's the match, he's a young player coming up, he has shown to perform. When Luka was injured in the playoffs, and I didn't really watch the regular season, so I can't front on that behalf. But Jalen Brunson that I seen in the playoffs showed that maybe he deserves that 104. It's not a max, It's a prove it kind of contract, and that's what I'm gonna say about that, and I'll let you guys take it over.
Yeah. Listen, man, me and CJ talked about this yesterday on the phone for like 15, 20 minutes. I like Jalen Brunson. He's a good point guard. But let's be honest, Jalen Brunson is not in the top 10. In my opinion, you should not be playing a point guard 4 years, $104 million when he's most likely going to be in that 15 to 20 range. I'm not going to go any deeper than that because I'm just regulating the show tonight, so I'll let CJ go. But I think it's dumb that we would pay him that much.
Yeah, he's nowhere close top 10. No.
He's the 14th highest paid point guard, which is right around the ballpark of where he should be paid. Jalen Brunson, is he a star by any means? No, but he's a high-end caliber point guard that perfectly fits the timeline of where the Knicks are in their development. More importantly, he gets fucking Julius Randle to stop running point, for crying out loud. Now you have a true point guard, your scoring wing, and your interior big man. If the Knicks utilize Randle like how he should as an interior force, the same way the Bucks using Giannis, obviously not comparing Julius to Giannis, but what ultimately turned the Bucks around and allow Giannis to be even more so of an MVP caliber player was that they stopped using him as if he's a guard or a wing. He's not that. He is a big man. Play him like he's a big man. Jalen Brunson, if Julius Randle could get back to his All-NBA caliber self like he was a year ago, Brunson is a match made in heaven for him because he can dictate the offense. He dictates pace. He's a knockdown 3-point shooter. He's a bulldog. He's an absolute pit bull on both ends of the floor. And plus add to the fact the Knicks finally have stability. The Knicks finally have stability and an organic build around their point guard field. Again, comparing to what I've seen the Celtics do, they keep recycling these scoring type of guards like Kemba, Kyrie, Isaiah, Dennis Schroeder. Like, just get you an old-fashioned point guard that could score, that could facilitate, and that could play some defense. Brunson gives you that. If you got him and RJ Barrett as your consistent backcourt, check. Julius Randle plays more like an interior big man instead of acting like he's some sort of two-way wing. Like, no, Julius, get your butt in the paint, dominate the interior, and you can handle it. And when we're on a fast break, or you're in a one-on-one situation, then you could go ISO. But Brunson is here to make life as much easier for RJ and Julius. Because Brunson was the clear-cut number 2 guy behind Luka. And once they got into the playoffs, he looked like an all-star caliber player. So if you can consistently get that out of Jalen Brunson, then, listen, a core 4 of Brunson, RJ, Julius, and bringing Mitch back, you add in a couple of veterans, some high-end role players. Could I see the Knicks being a sneaky threat in the East like we were 2 seasons ago? Sure. Absolutely. And again, I don't want to get into the whole concept of it all, because at the end of the day, $23 million for a starting point guard is nothing. He's currently the 14th highest paid point guard, and that's before John Morant and Trae Young get their deals. Like, Brunson could, within a year, he might be the 20th highest paid point guard in the NBA, which would be a steal if he plays up to this contract. So, again, it's a good signing. I think people are just being a little too over dramatic with this contract, because it's the Knicks who's giving him this contract. But at the end of the day, Brunson is a good signing. Brunson is a good signing. He's a really good player. And listen, he brings the Knicks stability at a position that they haven't had since the month with Jeremy Lin. Like we're really gonna go back that far, or the second time we brought back Raymond Felton. Like, come on, I've lost count at how many different point guards or guards that the Knicks have tried to rotate in and out. For Pete's sake, we keep trying to treat Julius like he's some sort of point forward. So no, it's a fine sign. It's a fine sign, and hopefully now the Knicks have their core 4 that they want to build around: Julius, RJ, Mitch, and now Brunson.
Yep. Jane, you got any thoughts on this?
That's a good deal for the Knicks. You know, the Knicks finally was looking for the point guard, and they finally got one in free agency.
Yep.
But I did have another question. What was your reaction to Zion Williamson getting the max deal from the Pelicans? I think it's crazy to me.
We're about to get into
I just said that too. That's crazy. I just said it before you pulled it up.
Yep. Well,
I don't like it. I absolutely hate it.
I said you asked and you shall receive. Bam, the question laid in front of you, champ. You go first.
Yep.
But I think it was a bad move by the Pelicans. They're going to regret this. Trust me. I know Zion. when he's healthy, he plays really good. But I don't know if he gets injured again. I don't know, man. This is why you don't overpay players like him. Trust me.
Zion.
Well, I'll just make it short and simple, and I'd love to get Nas talking because we gotta get Nas in these conversations as well. I just think I agree with you guys. I just think they paid for the name. It's Williamson. He had a massive name, massive shoe deal coming out of college. You're paying for that superstar stats, and when he is on the court and when he is healthy, he's dominant. I'm not gonna front again. I haven't watched that much of Zion play, but what I did watch when he is healthy. He can show. Does he deserve the 213? Nah. But I look at it kind of, I know it's basketball. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to fuse industries. But kind of look at it as like them taking a chance, kind of like a rap label bill. Let's give you this big money in advance. When your album drops, we get that money back. We're banking on the album does platinum, multiple platinum. We get the money back. I think that's what they kind of did here with the name of Zion Williamson. But that being said, no, I don't think that right now, does he deserve that? No. Really in the future, maybe. So maybe they gave him that big one time in advance. And if you think about how, how these sports contracts work, that's the name I think they paid for. Go right ahead.
Yeah, Zion, I agree with you. I just think Zion got to prove himself to be, is he worth
Absolutely.
the contract? He got to prove it to me.
Absolutely.
Though. I can't let this 1 year just go by. I don't do it like that. I feel like you got to like a few years. You got to play like 3 to 4 years to really see if you're worth that contract.
I feel you, Jeff. I like that.
No,
I like that, Jeff.
Oh, no, it's you got the mic.
What's up, bro?
What up, man? Let's get it.
What's good with y'all?
I'm good.
Wait, y'all want to answer this? How I feel about this?
Yeah,
Go ahead
man.
and take over.
I'm a big fan of Zion Williamson. I feel like he's a good source for the team. Like I feel like this is a good deal, for him because he's a good power forward, and I think this season is going to be a good season for him.
All right. CJ, less than 26 minutes. Go. All right, we're going to move on to the next topic. Oh, there he is.
CJ, you see the bottom of Zion gets the massive contract? Do not go past 10 minutes, though. Make it fast.
It's definitely bold for New Orleans to give Zion this contract already because they could have very easily had just wait this out a year, see how he gels with both CJ and Brandon Ingram, but I think the Pelicans decided, like, you know what? This is our win. This is our window. With these three guys all together and healthy. Let's just go all in with Zion. Get it done. Get it out of the way. He wants to be committed to them, and the Pelicans have shown that they could build a playoff caliber team without him. And so you pair Zion with CJ and now Brandon Ingram, possibly looking at the best young big three, especially in the West. So this is New Orleans' shot at being like a legit title contender. I look at this core, especially if Zion is healthy, they could very easily be what the Memphis Grizzlies was this year. Where you got a young up-and-coming superstar in Zion. You got a bona fide all-star in Brandon Ingram. And CJ in it. And CJ is the perfect glue guy for that young core. Because he's been part of a young core himself with him and Dame all those years in Portland. He's still very much in his prime, and it's a perfect fit along that Pelicans group. He's young, but he's still an established veteran and a big-time shot maker. So New Orleans is looking like, you know what? Let's just take care of this now, so this doesn't have to be a recurring issue down the long haul. Because the longer you wait, and especially if this experiment doesn't end up working, then you could almost lose Zion as quickly as you got him. And so again, Pelicans has showed
Yo, what up, G Nation? Let's get it.
that they're applying that they can make the playoffs and be a legit playoff contender without Zion. With him, they probably upset Phoenix in the first round, and they could very easily be in my top 6, maybe even top 5 contenders as far as the Western Conference goes. Because other than the Warriors, pretty much all the top teams, and obviously with the exception of Denver, when their 2 guys are healthy, most of the elite teams out in the West and even in the NBA have only 2 stars. Well, the Pelicans could realistically throw out 3, and so again, this is a bold move by New Orleans. I would assume that there's got to be some incentives advised, but cash in now.
What up, Big Blue? Let's get it.
For both Zion and New Orleans, because if this trio works out, holy crap, New Orleans could be a legit title contender easily this time next year.
Facts. And we're going to move on to another big extension. Another big trade. The Spurs traded Jonathan Murray to the Hawks. We'll start with Zion.
Why? Like, he's a good player. I like Murray. I don't know how to answer that. Just why? As far as Atlanta going, I don't know the financial situation when it comes to the Spurs. The Spurs is a real 5-star organization in this league. Not trying to disrespect the Spurs organization when I say that. I don't know how the contract or how his contract looks or what happened there, what they're trying to do. But that being said, Murray's is one of the younger starting point guards in this league. And that being said, if you think about it, like, you look who plays on Atlanta. Like, you got that homie,
Trae Young.
slaughtering his name. Thank you, Trae Young. We played him. Miami played him in the playoffs. That being
You got
said,
Trae Young. You got Clint Capella.
Thank you. Well, yeah, you got Clint Capella. I wasn't really gonna mention Clint, nothing against him, but you got Trae Young.
Wow.
And that being said, like, he needed someone. As you can see, it was just him. Obviously you got his team, but it was depending on him too much. And now if you get another distributor of the basketball in Murray, like, it can just move that offense a little bit better. Atlanta Hawks has been proven. They was just in the Eastern National game a couple years ago. But that being said, like, I'm wondering why did the Spurs get rid of him? That's what I'm wondering. That being said, go ahead, CJ.
Yeah, like when they released Lonnie Walker to the Lakers.
Well, fast. I don't know if Lou's more than welcome to hop on with us and call the fights with us. But I know we're doing multiple channels tonight for the fights. I don't know if Lou is going live on his. If he is, I'm gonna probably hop back and forth. But we'll wait for him to answer that. And yeah, continue, chat. My bad.
You said it was on CJ.
Oh, CJ, because you was talking. Wasn't Champ talking?
No, I just said Lonnie Walker went to the Lakers. That's all I said.
Gotcha. Go right ahead, CJ.
You're muted.
Damn it, Hogs. Just when I was ready to solidify you guys back into being a playing team, you guys make one of the sneaky best moves in free agency at this point. DeJounte Murray is a match made in heaven for Trae Young, because ever since the Hawks drafted him, they've wanted to utilize him more in that Steph Curry type of role, where he's coming off screens, he's coming off of pin downs, and he's just a marksman from distance. Now, obviously, he doesn't have. He he has the same ball handling capabilities that Steph has, but he doesn't nearly have the range or the off-ball movement that Steph creates. But if you're going to get the best out of Trae Young, you need to surround him with other playmakers and elite defenders. And DeJounte Murray, he is what Knicks fans wanted Frank Ntilikina to be, plus more. Elite defender, great size, and a great size for a guard. Could cut, slash, facilitate, score. DeJounte Murray, because he's been buried out west under San Antonio, teams really never got to really see him, under the bright lights. But here in Atlanta, going to Atlanta to pair with Trae Young, that's going to be a dynastic duo, because both of these guys are capable of handling the offense, getting hot from three, and Murray is a better all-around guard than Trae Young is, and this will allow Trae Young to have another crime partner that can facilitate and make our life easier for him. Going back to my Jalen Brunson comparison, he's here to essentially be the crime fighter for Trae Young. Everything that Trae lacks in size, physicality, length, defense, DeJounte Murray is going to give you that. And where Murray lacks in three-point shooting and spacing and pick and roll dynamic, Trae is going to give you that. And so, again, and the fact that they essentially didn't have to give up anything for him, you pair him, Bogdanovich, Hunter, and Clint Capella, you got three elite defenders surrounding Trae Young consistently. And so, listen, to keep it real, even though I still obviously can't stand the Hogs or Trae Young for that matter, I gotta give this an A+ signing. And switching it all to the Spurs real quick, about damn time. It is about damn time that you guys commit to a rebuild. I know Pop has a lot of pride. He doesn't want to tank. He doesn't want to go into a rebuild. But this is the exact type of step that you need to make in order for the Spurs to get back into title contention. Again, saw it firsthand with the Celtics. After they moved on from their big three, they were bad for it. They were bad for a year. They land a number one prospect, and right back into the playoffs, right back into the conference finals. Spurs, give this team 1 or 2 years to rebuild, and they can very easily be right back into title contention, depending on what happens with Pop. But for the Hawks, this is a great sign. You needed to go all in on Trae Young and this young core, and you're essentially doing that. Trae Young needs a consistent, reliable Robin, and Murray. Murray realistically is about as good as they can get as far as a compliment to Trae Young.
Yep. Next big resign. Oh, Jen, I'm sorry.
I actually have a question for everybody. What y'all think about Rudy Gobert going to the Minnesota Timberwolves?
Just about to bring that up.
Oh my God, this is the second time this to happen.
You ask and you shall receive. You may start us up.
I'm still trying to wrap my brain around this. I mean,
I don't understand this trade, but how is Rudy and Karl-Anthony Towns gonna work out? I'm trying to just figure. Is Karl-Anthony Towns gonna be the power forward? I don't know.
Move Cat to the 4 and keep Gobert at the 5. Is what I'm.
I really don't know what to say about this. I don't.
If I'm Utah, this is about as good as a package that you were ever going to get from Rudy Gobert. You essentially get 3 high-end role players plus a ridiculous abundance of picks. Minnesota, listen, man, I get it. Okay, this is only your second trip to the NBA playoffs in 25 years, or the last 20 years. I'm sorry. I get it. You want to go all in with your big three and Cat, with Karl Anthony Towns, D'Angelo Williams, and Russell, as well as Anthony Edwards. But this feels a little bit too much of a steep price for Rudy Gobert. If you had given up just 2 role players and 2 first-round picks, I'm like, okay, because at least you're keeping most of your young core intact. But you're giving up. Listen, Rudy Gobert is a great player, and he will solve a lot of their defensive issues like that. Because Russell is a good defender and has the potential to be a great defender. All Rudy Gobert needs is some capable perimeter defenders, and he can still be a high end level player, especially if he's got another interior threat with Karl Anthony Towns. My biggest question mark is, what is Utah doing? I mean, again, I like the package that they got, but the way I see it, you essentially have 2 years to try to rebuild and win at the same time just before Donovan Mitchell hits his prime. Because if this within a year, he will not finish out his contract in Utah.
Nah, with Donovan Mitchell, I could easily see him leaving out. I could see that.
Well, again, they're going to give it a try. They're going to give it a shot for a year. But Minnesota.
Oh, let's get it, Ash. Let's
get Ash.
Minnesota. This is
real fast. Live on the show. I was gonna hit you up on Twitter too. I've been thinking about dude, there's been so much albums that came out like lately, like that's just been like fire. And like I've been thinking about doing like a 5-album review because we got T Grizzly, we got Kevin Gates, we got Jack Harlow, we got Drake, and I know I'm forgetting someone else that just dropped the album, Kendrick Lamar. How could I forget him? That being said, I was gonna break down all those albums on my channel one of these days, and I will want you on that show with me because I know out of the YouTube family you're really into music as well. And let's get at each other on Twitter, Ashland. Let's get that going if you don't mind. Let's get it. Continue, guys. Sorry.
CJ, Jane.
Oh, I still don't understand this move. I really don't.
How much did they pay him?
Well, he's still under a max. He's still under a max contract with.
Oh yeah, just trade him.
Right.
I don't know. Maybe he has a resurgence.
No, listen. Rudy Gobert is still a great player. I just don't. I'm curious to see how is this dynamic going to work in the playoffs. Because I definitely think this move upgrades Minnesota by a decent margin as far as the overall feel of the Western Conference. But Rudy Gobert has shown time and time again that if you do not have elite perimeter defenders around home, once he comes down to the playoffs, he's basically stuck in quicksand, and he's almost unplayable at that point. So again, with a big three of Cat, Russell, and Anthony Edwards, if Rudy Gobert winds up being the 4th or 5th best player, that's a hell of a luxury. It's just gonna come down to whether or not Minnesota has enough perimeter defenders around him to where he could kind of just camp out on the corner against a non-shooter or continues as an interior presence.
Yeah. And moving on to our second and final topic, the Knicks give Mitchell Robinson the bag, 4 years, $60 million. Top 10 center, Zion Suckett, CJ.
Hey, I didn't say anything on Mitchell. All I have to say is go fast, almighty. I was born in Florida, but most what fast, CJ? Most of my family was on Oahu, in Hawaii. So I was raised in Hawaii. I was born in Florida. I lived Florida really early on, and then I was raised in Hawaii. But that being said, Mitchell Robinson, yeah, he is a top 10 center in this league. He's a young center. He's developing to be a nightmare matchup to certain people. I know me and Logan have this debate all the time about Bam being in the top 5 and why I think Mitchell is better than Bam is better than Mitchell and stuff. But not to compare Bam to Mitchell. That being said, Mitchell, he's a young center and he absolutely deserves everything that's coming to him if he keeps on playing the way he's playing. Like 4 years, $60 million, it's okay. You know, he's still young. But guess what? The next one is going to be max if you keep on doing what you're doing. You keep on developing. And I don't know that much about, Knicks because we have some Knicks fans here. So I'm just going to stop talking.
CJ?
$15 million for a high-end center could make it up. Could not. This was a must-have for me. Knicks. Like,
have a good night, Jeff.
As much as I was looking forward to seeing what the Knicks were going to do as far as free agency goes, like priority number 1, get Nick paid. Get that man his money, because he is one of the best up-and-coming high-end centers in the NBA. I've said it since he was drafted. He's Rudy Gobert 2.0, who we just talked about in our last segment. Only difference is Mitchell Robinson is an elite defender as well. Anchored the best defense in all. He can anchor the best defense in all of basketball. And I pray that Thibodeau watched what the Celtics did with Robert Williams. They didn't just have him camped out as an interior big. They spaced him out on the perimeter. They basically just had him guard the opposing non-shooter, and he was a defensive nightmare. Robert Williams was the main defensive catalyst that turned the Celtics season around, and I feel like Mitchell Robinson can have the exact same type of impact. He's every bit as athletic, as stringy, and as strong as a big man as Robert Williams is, and he might even grow to be somewhat of an interior scoring threat. I love him. Mitchell Robinson, other than RJ, Mitchell Robinson has been probably the most important catalyst of this Knicks team the last few years. Like, I cannot speak at how highly the impact that Mitchell Robinson gives us on both ends of the floor. And so, again, we said it earlier on, the Knicks have their core 4 at this point, assuming they maintain or get back to a certain level of excellence. You got Julius, RJ, Mitch, and Jalen Brunson locked up long term. You got to build around them at this point. Get this team some solid three-point shooting, maybe a playmaker here and there, and the Knicks are cooking with gas. This was a must-have to get re-signing Mitchell Robinson, especially on a contract like this. When I saw that Nicholas Claxton was getting up north, somewhere between $10 to $20 million, I'm like, he's better than Nicholas Claxton. He truly is. And so to get this deal done and to sign Mitchell Robinson to that contract, I can't speak highly enough how much I love this.
Yep. Champ, you got any thoughts on this? You're muted, my boy.
All right, yeah, thank you for reminding me that. This is a good move for the Knicks. Good free agency move. He's gonna be the future of the league. He's top 10 center right now. He's gonna develop, work on his craft, and try to get better and better every year. He's gonna be a problem in the future. This is a good move by the Knicks by re-signing Mitchell Robinson. He's a good defender. He could get boards. He could dunk. He's doing what he has to do. What the team is asking him to do, he gets it done.
Yep.
You never need the best players. You just need players like a role player who could just do their job, and that's how most teams are winning. Because these young teams, these young players, they listening to coaches, and they getting that chemistry going. And you see why most of these young teams are winning these days.
Facts.
And that's the key.
Yep. And then we got 2 things left. The Bulls give Zach LaVine the max. I'll let Jan start with this one as well.
I love it. Zach LaVine deserves it. He's been amazing on the Bulls the entire time. When he plays like that, you deserve the contract. Because I love the chemistry between him and DeMar DeRozan. This is gonna be dangerous, though. I can't wait. I can't wait to see the Bulls for the coming up season. This is gonna be real interesting. Zach LaVine deserves it. He's been putting the team on his back, even though they got DeMar, but he showed that he could hold his own ground.
Yep. I'm gonna keep it short.
I love
keep it fast. I'm gonna let CJ go into full detail because he's great at it. That being said, that wasn't sarcasm. I really mean that, CJ. That being said, that wasn't a shot at how long you hold the mic. That being said, some people may not agree with my statement here. Almighty says he's not worth that $215 million. I think he's a superstar. I think he's going to be all-star next season. I believe he was already all-star this season. He's proven himself in this league multiple years now. He's becoming a superstar in his own right. He's already a superstar in my eyes. He's one of the superstars in the league. Now, what does that say about the Bills organization? Exactly what Champ puts it in. It puts him in a good place going forward, trying to build something, trying to get that team where it deserves to be. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to let CJ take over if he's still here. You're muted.
He's not a superstar, but he's the Bulls superstar.
There you go. I like that.
Yeah.
He's worth every penny that the Bulls offer.
Yeah, I like that. That's a good statement.
He's been the face of that franchise for damn near a decade now.
DeMar DeRozan would like to have a word with you.
They finally paired him with another all-star caliber player in DeMar DeRozan. They were a top team in the East prior to Lonzo going down. The Bulls absolutely needed to get this done. There was no effing way that they were going to lose on Zach LaVine after the season and the run that they've had just this past year. He's worth every penny. He's in the smack dab of his prime right now. And listen, if the Bulls do this right, they could very easily be what the Brooklyn Nets were prior to KD and Kyrie, where you have a bunch of these, all-stars, all NBA caliber performers, and you're literally just a superstar way to be legit, bona fide title contenders. This was a must-have to get for the Bulls. Zach LaVine has been literally carrying them on both ends the last few years. So, again, when you've not drafted, but when you've had when you trade for a young player and you watch him grow into being this caliber player, you pay them. Whether or not you think they're they could be the best player on a title contender is irrelevant. You do not lose guys like Zach LaVine for nothing. For absolutely nothing. He wanted to come back to the Bulls. The Bulls wanted to bring him back. It makes all the sense in the world for you to max him out, now. Keep him, DeRozan, and Lonzo Ball together. You are literally a superstar away from being a legit title contender. So, hats off to the Bulls. This was a no-brainer. As soon as I got this notification, I'm like, well, duh. Of course, he's going to take the Supermax. Of course, the Bulls are going to offer it to him. They'll be stupid not to. All these reports that Zach LaVine he's going to be a Sixer, he's going to be a Laker, he's going to Miami. No, the hell he's not. No, the hell he's not. Unless you plan on moving him for a top star, Zach LaVine's not going anywhere. And so, again, no-brainer for the Bulls and no-brainer for Zach LaVine.
Yep.
Why force a breakup when you just made the playoffs and God knows how long?
Final topic of the night before we end it off. USC and UCLA are going to leave the Pac-12 for the Big Ten in 2024. I don't want to go too in-depth on this. I mean, we got to cover it because it's recent. But, hey, man, both schools are going to get clapped. That's all I got to say.
I'll just like to say too. I like to switch up. We have a whole stream talking about extension, big news. And then we got a little switch up to football because we know we're all football lovers. That being said, I know that the NCAA is gonna start paying their athletes. So guess what? I'm gonna start watching again. And that being said, I'm excited. And I also heard that they're trying to get rid of conferences in general. I don't know if that passed. I don't know if that's in the works. You know how these things go. They take time. That being said, USC, UCLA is leaving. I think we're going to come to a point in time very soon. It might be, 2027, 2030, maybe sooner, that we're not going to even have conferences, you know what I'm saying, of these Pac-12s, these Mountain West, these, all these colleges, all these colleges, divisions. I can't think right now. But that being said, SEC and stuff like that. That being said, good for them. Good for them.
Yep. Champ, you got any final thoughts before we wrap this up? No. Well, thank you guys for watching. It's around 12 o'clock. We appreciate you taking time out of your night to watch our podcast. Don't forget to like and subscribe to Hardcore on all platforms. Subscribe to me, Jayden, CJ, Zion, and Nas, who is here, but he said he'll be back later. But thank you guys for watching. We're out.
Hey, you guys have a